Hey everyone, my name is Allison and I like to do a lot of different things. Today I'm going to do some plant things. So I will be repotting a banana plant for all of you, but before we get to that, I wanted to just give you an update on my life because it's been like ups and downs. Um, I recently found out I've had a degenerative eye condition since I was 12 was when I was diagnosed, and I recently found out that I can no longer drive. So that's fun. But in good news, I had my first art vendor show about 3 weeks ago, and I have another one coming up in about 2 weeks. And so that was a lot of fun, and I got to meet a lot of other artists and kind of exchange ideas with them, and I made a couple sales, so that's good. It's always good to make a little bit of money back, and it's been really fun. And so I've been working on my Facebook presence and my Instagram, and I did set up a little Facebook shop just to try things out and get the ropes of things. So there's a lot of exciting things happening, and I'm hoping that I will be more diligent in creating things for everyone, because I really do like creating things. I just like, I guess I get petrified that what I produce isn't going to be liked by others, and I guess like that's the whole reason you share, is because you hope that someone else will like it. So everyone who's subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. Like, it really makes me feel good, and I love it when you guys leave me comments. I really try to reply to everyone's comments, and I really hope that you can learn a couple things if you're not very familiar with plants today. And if you are familiar with plants and you want to offer me pointers, constructive criticism and pointers are always welcome. So thank you. Okay, so here's our banana plant. It's getting pretty big, and the reason I know it needs to be repotted is because it's just not holding water anymore. These things love water and they love fertilizer, and I haven't been fertilizing it, but it's just not staying wet anymore. So the first step in this process, because this is like super dry, look at, I can like, it's just super dry. So I'm gonna water it first very deeply, so it'll like help loosen it up, and it'll help the plant acclimate better to the new pot. Here we are over at my rain barrel, and I use rainwater for my plants when they're outside during the summer. And if I notice my rainwater is really clean, I'll use that for my indoor plants too. But sometimes I'll get bugs in here, even though I have a lid that goes over it. Sometimes I'll get different bugs in there, and it'll get kind of dirty from anything that washes off the roof. Okay, we're back over here with my banana plant, and now we're just gonna water it really deeply. So first I'm just gonna water the top a little bit, and then I'm gonna wait for that water to settle into the plant, because if you don't, it finds like little crevices in the dirt and it just flows right through all of that if you just water it all at once. So you want to water it a little bit at first, and then water it a little bit more at a time. And sometimes it takes a lot of water, especially for really large plants. So I'm just going to keep giving it a little water. And just let it drain through. Let it get a puddle on the top. And then just let the puddle drain out. I'm gonna do this maybe 2 or 3 more times. I live close to my main street, so it's kind of noisy sometimes. But I love having a yard. When I first started, in my first video, I didn't have a yard. I was living in an apartment and all I had was a balcony, and so this is great. I have a lot of vegetables and perennials growing in my yard. Alright, so an easy way to see if your plant is watered is to pick it up, and it feels a lot heavier. So I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to let it drain, and while I'm letting it drain, I'm going to get my soil ready. So what I'm using today, I think I'm going to go with this pot. They're about the same size. I'm running low on big pots. I don't know if any of you guys have that problem, but I'm going to use this pot. And then today, I'm going to be using just some basic Expert Gardener potting mix. And I'm going to mix in a little bit of peat moss with it to make it a little bit lighter. And I like to just grab an extra pot laying around to use as a scoop. And so first I'm just going to put in, oh look, I found someone was using a little paint lid. Must have been me or my boyfriend. That's funny. Sometimes my boyfriend grows plants, but not very often. He's still getting into it. So I'm just going to take those 2 pots of potting mix, and then I have 1 pot of peat moss here. And usually I would add some perlite as well, but I don't have any right now, so, but it will be fine. The bananas love to stay moist, and it should be plenty light and airy with all the peat moss in here. Okay. So I'm just mixing it by hand, and I might have too much dirt in here, so I'm going to take a little bit out and put it back in my pot that I was using. Okay. So I probably have about 1 inch or 2 inches of potting mix in the bottom of this container. So next, I'm going to take my banana plant, and I'm just going to kind of like press on the sides. I don't want to press on it so hard that it cracks, but just kind of like loosen it up a little bit, and then I should be able to take my plant by the base and just like pull it out, and then just throw that on the ground really fast. And so here is my plant. It's not like super root bound, but I want this guy to get really big anyway, so he'll be happy with a new pot. So I've got about maybe 1 inch all the way around the pot that I need to fill in the soil. And so I'm gonna massage this top part, kind of like knock it down. And when you're repotting banana plants, they can experience some shock. So if your plant looks sad for a while after you repot it, it's normal, and don't freak out. Don't throw your plant away. Just wait and it'll keep growing leaves. You just have to make sure it stays moist and it has food. And I'm just pressing in the soil around the plant. It's kind of wobbly now, which is pretty normal. I also have it in crooked, but let's see if I can straighten it out a little bit. So sometimes an easy way to straighten them out is just trying to like rough them up in the pot and just pack a little bit more dirt in the opposite corner. Like if it's tipping one way, pull it the way you want it and then pack it in the corner that it was tipping before. Some people might advise against that, but I have experience building fences and setting posts and stuff, and I just like take my knowledge from that and use it here. So it's feeling better now, but it might take a couple days for it to like really acclimate to this pot. And then I will probably end up rinsing out the old pot with a hose, and I will use it for another plant at some point. I always keep all my pots because I'm always repotting plants, and sometimes I make propagations, and I usually start plants from seed, so I need as many pots as I can get. So here's the banana plant in its new home. And the last step is just to water it in. So we're going to take what I have left in the watering can and do a little bit. And I saved a little bit more for in a couple seconds. Watering the plant, unless your soil is already very wet, I would highly advise watering the plant after you put it in the soil. The other time I would not advise doing this is if your plant has root rot. Then I would pot it in as dry of soil as you can and let it dry out for a while. But in this case, the plant was really dry. I watered the soil before I potted it, and the soil was kind of moist from the bag. So I'm just going to water it a little bit, and it's going to help the roots make contact with the soil. Thanks for coming to see how to repot a banana plant. If you want to see more videos about plants and art and other kind of stuff, I don't know. I like to do a lot of things, so I'm just going to start doing more things that I like. So if you want to see some more of that, just subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment and say what's up. I'd like to get to know everyone. And I also have my Facebook and Instagram links down below, so you can follow me there to keep up with things and view my creations. Thank you. Thank you for viewing.